Hello and welcome to a new episode of Scottish Football Matters with me, Lorenzo, and my good friend Murray.
Hiya.
Tonight we're going to be discussing the midweek European games from yesterday, Celtic's game against Roma, Rangers' game against Ferencvaros, and Aberdeen as well. Sorry, the team that they played escapes me. Who
Strasbourg.
was it? It's Strasbourg, that's right.
Yeah.
Um, and then we'll review the coming weekend fixtures, including
Yep.
Sunday's League Cup final between Celtic and St Mirren. How you doing, mate?
Aye, not bad. Obviously another total disaster for Scottish football again last night, but you know, I think with Rangers, I've resigned myself for the last two games, really, Braga and that one, that it just doesn't matter, and the next game's the most important. And I'm now glad we're away for Europe until January because we can really focus on what matters, which is trying to get a bit more consistency in the league, and we should just treat those two games in January like friendlies, and
Aye.
just a game to give people minutes like we did to do John Sterling last night, because
Hmm.
that's all it's for. It's for
I
nothing else,
think I'm
which
beginning to
is a
think
shame.
Celtic should do the same. Celtic, I think, should do the
Well,
same.
you're still in 24th, so you still have that opportunity because you've got Utrecht in one of your
I
last
know.
games, which is winnable, and 10 points should be enough.
Yeah, but
But
who knows, eh?
but if we go through game by game, I think shall we start with Rangers because it was the early kickoff?
Mm-hmm.
I can't really go too much into it. I mean, I thought Rangers played okay, like 6 out of 10. But individual errors cost you at the top end, and I don't think Ferencvaros are a great team, but I think at any level in Europe, if you make basic errors like your centre back facing the wrong way when somebody heads the ball in for 6 yards, or
Yeah.
you know a cross ball that was in the air for about 4 or 5 seconds and
Hmm.
no one moved. And the first goal, fair enough. I mean, I do understand that sometimes you get wingers that don't track back and player moves out of position, a cutback, deflection,
Yeah.
goal. It happens. But I don't think Rangers have been good enough in any match this season in Europe.
No, they
But
haven't.
I don't think that we were that bad last night. If I'm honest, I thought we were okay, but okay is not good enough in the Europa League. Okay, I think you can get away with in the Conference League. I do. I think at that level you can get away with okay, but
Mm-hmm.
against the teams that we're playing at Europa League, you can't be 6 out of 10 and
Scored a
get
good
away with
goal
it.
though. Scored a good goal.
Unfortunately, though, Mayoff's went off injured, which is
That's
a
right.
real
Well,
disappointment
I've not
because
heard anything today. Do you know any
no,
update of what's wrong? No.
No, because it was away in Europe. Rangers don't tend to do a presser. What they tend to do is they'll talk about the game last night and they'll do like two or three questions on Hibs and just Hibs
Right.
directly, nothing to do with team news, and they'll kind of just talk about David Gray's doing well, blah blah blah, and it'll just be a wee mini presser
Mm-hmm.
because you can't they'll travel. We don't want to be doing pressers every day,
So,
so I don't think we'll know till Monday
I was going to say,
if
so
they.
you
Uh,
are you of the mind? Are you of the mind that he won't play against Hibs then on Monday?
he walked off the pitch okay, so I would.
But it
I,
did look
I'm
like a
optimistic.
hamstring, though. It did look like a hamstring.
I am hoping that it was just because the way his foot went down. I think he just went a wee bit. I think he just felt a wee tweak, and hopefully it's just precautionary. Because to be honest, he's the bright spark after the last few games, and that I feel you can build around having a number nine that scores. Because
Hmm.
there's a lot of other things that are wrong with Rangers, but I thought young Finlay Curtis was excellent when he came on, and I'll obviously speak about a few at Celtic that had similar impacts. But
Yeah.
Finlay Curtis was good, and he deserves a start. Just as simple as that. Gassama shouldn't be starting games if he's not playing
Hmm.
well enough. We should be starting Mikey Moore and Finlay Curtis
Yeah.
in behind whatever striker, whether it's Miovski or Danilo. Stop putting Danilo wide right. It doesn't work. It just doesn't work. He doesn't have the pace. He doesn't have the movement. So, but I do think I mean, Barron was good again. Raskin was much better than he's been. Giga
Mhm.
was good last night. It was Fernandez that was the problem. But we know what we're getting with Fernandez. We're getting an English League One player who we're trying to mould into a good player, but it's going to take time. But
Yeah.
I look at him like Liam Scales, in that you maybe need to just get through the learning. But unfortunately for Rangers, and I mean this in the nicest possible way, Liam Scales had a Cameron Carter-Vickers to guide him through in his early stages.
Hmm.
I feel like Fernandez is getting maybe not the same level of support,
Aye,
because
partner in defence.
which is a shame, because I think he needs guided through these sort of periods. But again, I thought Max Aarons was decent, Magoma was decent, Butland behind Tav was hopeless. Asgard offers nothing. Chermiti's worse than a player down. Otherwise, it is what it is. But yeah, I thought I don't know if Ferencváros deserved to win, but I don't think Rangers deserved really much either. I think if it'd been a draw, I don't think anyone would have argued. But
Right.
I don't think there was much between the teams. I think the teams are both two average, poor teams who played an average, poor football match.
Probably because Miovski went off injured. He was your best outlet for a goal. So
Yeah,
once he went off, then your chances of winning the game
but I
probably
just think
were diminished.
when you're taking off players of maybe the ability of Miovski and replacing him with Chermiti, there's such a downgrade,
Hmm.
and that's not Chermiti's fault.
No,
It's really
the
not.
price tag
But
isn't his fault either.
no, but he's just not good enough. It's as simple as that. But if we move on to the 8 o'clock games, I think best to touch with Aberdeen first, because I thought they put up a decent fight, but
Yeah.
Strasbourg always kind of had them at arm's length. They were always, and they missed a penalty as well, which was actually a
Mhm.
really good save for Mitov. But
Eh?
I never felt like Aberdeen were going to get it out of the game, but that's not through a lack of it. In fact, that's what I'll say about Rangers, Celtic, and Aberdeen. They didn't lose because of a lack of effort.
Yeah.
They lost because of a lack of ability
To be
and a
fair to
lack of.
Aberdeen, I know they only lost 1-0, so
Yeah,
yeah,
I know, but unfortunately, that's their campaign over, just like Rangers, and that's disappointing. But
yeah.
Aberdeen, to be fair, were handed a very, very difficult
Oh,
draw.
it was a really
Yeah.
tough draw, yeah.
When you compare some of the other teams in their sort of pot, they got much
Hmm.
easier routes, but that's football.
It's always the case. It's always
But
the
I
case
think
with Scottish clubs.
yeah, Aberdeen have got one more game left, I think, away to Prague. So hopefully they put up a decent fight, and then Rangers in January, it'll be treated like kickabouts to me. The two games.
2 games.
I mean, especially when one of them, I think, is in between. In fact, I think the two of them are sandwiched either side of the Scottish Cup game, and
Right.
somehow a game against Annan is bigger than Porto or Ludogorets, because it just is, because
Funny
it's a
that, innit?
trophy that we can win, and
Hmm.
that's not being disparaging to anyone else in the league. When you start a cup, your aim is to win it. I don't care who you are, and to be
Hmm.
honest with you, Rangers need to win it. Not just, I don't even think it's a case of they want it, they need it. They need
Yeah.
to have something to go into next season. I don't think Rangers can go trophyless this season. I'm not saying we're out of the title race or anything like that, but Rangers need something in a similar vein to when Alex McLeish came in that season and won the cup double.
Yeah.
If we can just get one cup, it can give you momentum into the next year. But I think if we go back to obviously last night, Celtic, where did I start? I think they were outclassed by a team that also outclassed Rangers, by the way, so I'm not having a pop.
Hmm.
Um, but more, I would say the biggest sort of red flags I got was still can't defend corners from the game against Hearts.
Yep.
Um, any sort of form of decent movement by Ferguson just baffled you. And I felt Shankland did very similar at the weekend.
Hmm.
I'm not
Yeah.
saying they're similar players, but just that wee bit of nous, that wee bit of
Yeah.
movement just gets you away for the Celtic defence. And I still think the formation's a good formation, but you don't have the players to do it.
That's what I'm all about here, because I think the manager is naive, or he's just stupid, because at the end of the day, he played the formation at the weekend. It didn't work against Hearts. He's the same team. He picks the same team for the game against Roma last night with the same formation, thinking he's going to get a result. No, no
Yeah.
chance. The Italians are far superior
Mm.
to our players,
What I would
definitely.
say is I don't want to go through the whole 11 and absolutely annihilate them, but I felt in the first half, if we're going to be honest. Schmeichel didn't do much wrong. I don't think he
No.
can do much with the goals, if I'm honest.
Yeah. But
Uh,
the players just don't seem to be able to play in that formation with that strategy and that system. I just don't think
to
they
be
can.
fair though, I thought Trusty and Scales were fine,
Skills scored an
especially in the
OG.
second half. I know, but
Skills was at fault for two of the goals, really.
it is a high level you're playing against.
Well,
But
in
I don't
fact,
think he
he
was.
was at fault for all the goals. He was at fault for the two Ferguson goals as well.
I think the second goal by Ferguson's just a quality bit of movement that can do
As
any proper.
as
Even a good defender can get done by that. But no, I thought Scales and Trusty were okay. I thought Tierney was okay in the first half. But the
come
biggest
off
problem
it.
for
I
me
was
is that
surprised at that.
the biggest thing for me is that he brought Donovan on at right centre back, which just looked he looked alien there. He didn't look like he's ever played there, and he's a good player to play in the Yang position, that
Yep.
sort of right side. I know they
I'd
did
say
that
so.
later on,
Yep.
but I can't believe that you try and put a kid in at right centre back. To me,
Do you,
that's where I'm
do you
getting red
think
flags
do you
that
think
he doesn't
Ralston would be
understand.
better there?
I would even argue that, yeah, absolutely. I mean, because he can do the
Ralston.
basics, can he?
Mm.
And I would even argue at times that what you need out of your three centre backs if you're going to do that is to be comfortable on the ball, right? Now, what I would say is Trusty's comfortable on the ball, but not got a great passing range.
No,
Scales is erratic with
I
his
wouldn't say he
passing,
was.
but
No,
he's
he's not
not.
comfortable.
No, he's not. He's not as comfortable on the ball. Like he doesn't look as elegant when he's coming out, but his passing range can be good, can be bad,
I would
right?
say that about the team in general. Don't worry. Last night, even against Hearts, they looked as if they were quite panicky on the ball when they had it, and they didn't know what to do with it. With the quick
And I
passing,
think
and they give the ball away too easily.
I
So
think in the midfield, I thought Engels was soft the whole game. Nigren was just terrible, and
Engels'
I'm not
penalty
getting
was
the guy.
rotten enough.
It was very soft too,
It
but
was.
it was one of those ones that
What do you
you're.
mean by soft? I thought it was a penalty. Do you think it was a penalty?
There was little to no contact. I mean, there's an arm and a shoulder, and he falls down. He falls down because of the terrible rain, and it's
No.
slippy, and there's nothing. He's not dived. There's nothing. It's just. I think it's more just he slipped in the rain, and I think it's one of those ones that you're delighted to get, but if that went against you, you're fizzing. Put it that way. Do
No,
you know
I
what
had
I
a
mean?
feeling. I had a feeling when we got the penalty that he was going to miss it anyway. When he
Mm.
did.
But I thought the biggest letdowns for me in the team were because I thought Taneki and Yang were fine. I thought they tried. I don't think their end product was there, but
Mhm.
I thought Nigren was
But
terrible, and I thought Maeda
Tanecki,
was he was worse than terrible. I don't know what the next level down from terrible
mhm.
is, but that was where Maeda was.
But
He
Tanecki and
can't
Yang for
play up
me
front.
can't play wing back. They're no wing backs
No, no, I
because
agree. I
that's
think you
alien to
need
them as well. That's
players
alien to
like
them as well.
Donovan and Sriracha there, players that
I,
are comfortable on the ball but also know how to defend.
I would say that. Yeah,
And if you're going to play 3-4-3, your two wide players need to be able to cross the ball. And
that's right.
I've not seen great evidence that Taneki's end product is good. And I think Yang is okay, but you'd even get more out of James Forrest in that position. I know he doesn't have the legs anymore, but
Hmm.
at least you know you're going to get a decent cross.
I know exactly. He can cross a ball. He can cross a
And
ball.
what I would say is the positives where I thought Ian Atchell was very, very good when he came on.
He was. He was. Aye.
He's
I'd start
a
with him
bit
on
like what I
Sunday.
was saying. Bit like I was saying with Curtis is that if the player that you're coming on for, if you're way better than him on that 45-minute showing, you should be starting the next game. And I think Ian Atchell
I
should
think
be
so.
starting on Sunday. Curtis
I
should be
think
starting on Monday
I think
because
Donovan should start as well for Celtic when
you you
Sunday.
cannot you cannot keep playing as bad as the likes of Gassama and Maeda are. And I don't think they're bad players. Don't even think that I'm saying that. But
Hmm.
good players can be in bad form. But you need to know that you need to be taken out of the firing line.
Hmm.
Because if Maeda plays that way again for a third game on the trot, I mean, let's be honest, the Hearts game, right? Two chances, two finishes that looked like a centre back was shooting, right?
Last night he
Last
wasn't very
night
good either.
he didn't even involve himself in the game. He ran about a wee bit,
The ball
but
kept getting away from him. The ball kept getting away from him
he's
as well
not a
at times.
striker. He's not
No.
he's not a striker. He never will be. I mean, you'll get away with it against, some of the medium to low quality SPL teams at
Yep.
home. You'll get away with it because you're going to have so much of the ball and it doesn't matter. when you only get 40-50% of the ball in Europe, it needs to stick. And Ian Atchell did that side of the game so much better. But I've got to admit, I'd be dropping Nygren and Maeda for Sunday.
Well, to be fair, I think although he was offside and he was offside, he took his goal well. Ian Actually, I thought it was a lovely finish. Nice goal.
Very close. So was the Roma goal.
I know.
Very
I
close.
know.
I mean,
I know.
some of them, seeing the old, I'd love to see those goals count because I'm just like,
I
oh,
know.
come on, we're talking about toenails here.
See, when you think about it as well, we get that penalty, we score it. The Ian Actual goal goes in, it counts.
A different
It's a
game, man.
totally different game.
Well, you've seen
No,
that against Sturmgratz where if you do get a goal, you can build on it.
aye.
And you can, but I did think that, Roma kind of kept just
Well,
at arm's length
but they took
most
their
of the
foot off
game.
the gas because it was 3-0. I'd say that as well. I know we played well in the second half, but it was due to the fact that they were 3-0 up and they
We were
didn't
the
need to
exact
do
same. Aye.
anything
We
anymore.
were, I think we were 2 down against them, and we showed a bit more fight in the second half, but it was against a team that had just went, it's done.
Aye. Game's finished. Game's a bogey.
But I still think Celtic are in with a shout of qualifying, but see, if I'm honest, and I don't want to sound harsh, right? Even
beat
if
the
you
trick.
do qualify, you ain't
Uh,
going further.
No.
That team
Well,
isn't good enough to go to the.
unless he drastically changes it in January, like in terms of if he gets 8 players in or something like that, which I don't think will happen. But
Maybe you can only make like 3 changes to Europa League squad.
can you?
It's mad, aye. So that's the thing. It's going to be very difficult for Celtic to progress. And they've obviously got that terrible start, haven't they, where they haven't won a knockout game after Christmas since like
Aye.
2003.
3, that's right. Yep.
So I don't see that changing. Honestly, against
No,
any
me
of those
either.
teams in the top
Me either.
24.
No.
But if we move on to obviously the weekend, I think the best place to start is obviously Saturday's games.
hmm
Dundee United Motherwell. Going to talk
Yeah.
about the Jekyll and Hydes against the. I don't think Motherwell are Jekyll and Hyde, but
No, Motherwell are all right.
they have their. They do seem to be patchy though. I
hmm
don't know about this one. I think I'm going to take Dundee United. I think I'm going to take the good side of Dundee United to turn up tomorrow. I'm going to
All
take
right.
2-1 Dundee United, just because it's at Tannadice, and I know they've got Celtic on Wednesday. And put it this way, they'll win one and they'll lose one, because that's Dundee United. So you better be
Well,
hoping they win on Saturday.
I'm hoping if they win one and lose one, I'm hoping they win tomorrow and they lose against us on Wednesday.
But
So yeah.
do you get what I mean? I don't see their Jekyll and Hydeness changing, but
No.
I do think that they'll win one of these 2 games at Tannadice, because you know what they're like. They do win games.
Right.
And I
Since
also
you
think
said that,
Motherwell are on the back of, some wins, and then they've drawn against Hearts, haven't they? And then,
hmm
they did they draw again last weekend? No, they won last weekend, didn't they? I don't know. I'm gonna go 2-1 Dundee United.
right, I was
But I'm
going to
not
go.
confident.
I was going to go for a draw, but seeing as how you said that about the whole
Hmm.
1-1 lose one thing, all right, I'll go for Dundee United as well then. But it could be a draw. But
Okay.
Dundee United to win then, yeah.
Speaking of draws, this one very much could be a draw. Livingston Dundee,
Uh-huh.
because it's at Livingston, so you'd give Livingston a chance. They need to stop the rot.
hmm
They've lost a lot of games, and
Best chance to do it against a team like Dundee. I mean, Dundee aren't great either, to be
Dundee
honest.
don't seem to be that great on the. I know they got a point at Ibrox, so I'm probably contradicting myself there, but they don't seem to be that great on the road. But they were
hmm
okay against Celtic, actually. But I think they're different games, because they can just sit in.
Yeah.
They can't put 10 behind the ball against Livingston, but they can do that at Ibrox and Celtic Park. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm going to go 2-0 Livingston. I just get the feeling they'll get that win. I
I'm
don't know
actually
where
thinking
that's
that'll be
going to
another.
come from,
I think
but
that'll be another draw.
yeah,
I think that'll be 1-1.
okay. Um, I'm not going to be harsh on the games that are going to come up, but I think this could be the game of the weekend. Falkirk Hearts, 8 o'clock in Falkirk.
Saturday night.
I fancy Falkirk quite strongly.
I hope you're right.
And I'm going to say 3-2 to Falkirk. I'm going to say that this game is really end to end, and I fancy Falkirk to win by the odd goal. I just think sometimes when you get, and you'll find yourself that, Rangers had it at Kilmarnock, at Celtic, at St Mirren. It isn't a great kick-off time, but there's something quite exciting, and I think the fans can get up for it after. And I just think that those Falkirk fans will be right
Get
up for it.
behind their team.
Aye, and I watched them against Hibs. I don't know if you remember the game earlier in the season where I think they got a 2-2, but they got a terrible penalty decision against them where by the stupidity of the law, it probably was a penalty, but the guy was like a yard away. You're like, oh, what's he meant to do? Like shove his hand up his arse, so you can't hide it, But yeah, they didn't get a great decision against them that night, but I thought they were good, and I think they came back for 2-0 down and drew 2 each, and I just think a similar type performance with a bit of luck could see Falkirk through.
Well, so I'm hoping as well. I mean, I'm going to predict it's going to be 2-1.
No, it's weird. I've went for 3 home wins so far.
2-1 to Falkirk, I'll say.
Yeah. Right, on to Sunday. I'll do the league game first. Aberdeen Killie. It's a tricky one because Aberdeen have improved, but they haven't been great after European games.
I know.
And Killie got a good point at Tynecastle, and then kind of looked terrible against Rangers.
Yep.
So you don't really know.
Another Jekyll and Hyde team.
Weirdly with Killie though, I actually think they're quite well set. I think they're well set up away from home. I'm gonna go for my draw here because I've not done a draw yet, so I'm gonna say 1-1.
I think Aberdeen will just shade that one. I think Aberdeen will win 2-1.
I think they could. What shall we do next? Shall we do the Sunday Cup final or the Monday league? Will we finish the league and then do the Cup final?
On you go. Yeah, we'll do the league games, right?
Rangers Hibs on Monday. I don't know this one. My head says a draw because I don't think there's much between the teams. But again, something's telling me a bit like Falkirk that it being a night game and the fans are normally a bit better at night games. There's a bit better atmosphere, as you know yourself. I think if Rangers score early, they'll win. But I don't know if I can trust Rangers to score early. I'm thinking 1 each, but I'm also thinking 2-1 Rangers. I don't really know. I'm probably going more heart than head here, but I'm going to say 2-1 Rangers. But I don't think there'll be much between the sides because I don't think that. I just think that Hibs maybe haven't managed to get over the line in these games, and that might change. But I look at them against Celtic, they just didn't do enough. Against Hearts, didn't do enough. Against Rangers in the Cup and the league, didn't do enough. My worry is that they're just big game bottle merchants.
I hope that Hibs can turn it around.
Jesus.
Obviously, yeah, aye. I hope they can, but I'll go for a 1-1 draw.
Yeah, I just think they're big game bottle merchants, and it needs to start somewhere. It might be a draw that gets them a decent result, but I think a lot could be impacted on what happens previously as well. Because I think if Hearts were to drop points, and if I know it has no impact, but if Celtic did lose the cup final, I could see the Rangers fans going into that game quite positive. Whereas if Hearts win and Celtic win a cup, then I could maybe see the fans going less.
This is a bit of a pointless game sort of thing.
Do you get what I mean? I know that a cup final should have nothing to do with Rangers, but do you get what I mean though, just from the fans and the atmosphere point of view?
They'll be buoyed up by it, yeah.
I think if I could predict it on Sunday night, I might choose differently, but I'm going to go 2-1 to Rangers, just because I'm actually predicting a Hearts defeat and a cup final shock, so I'm actually going with that to the Rangers will take that. The positivity for the crowd will actually see them through, but I don't expect they'll play well. I expect that they'll maybe just find a way.
Yeah.
In fact, I kind of expect Hibs will lose it rather than Rangers win it, if you know what I mean by that.
Hibs will throw it away, basically.
Yeah, that kind of just Hibs will find it a bit like Rangers in Europe right now. They'll find a way to maybe even take a winning position and throw it away because that's just where they're at right now. But if we go on to the cup final, right, Celtic are massive favourites, right, regardless of form. But the new manager and the fact that St Mirren have been so close against Celtic in the two games and lost 90th minute goals, and
by a narrow goal.
I think McCown's was maybe like 88, 89, but you know what I mean. They've
Aye.
lost very late goals just by the odd one. And you would argue that if they'd come out of those games with draw, I don't think any Celtic fan could have begrudged them draws in either game. Maybe I know in the first game of the season they didn't attack, right? They didn't. They just sat
No,
there,
we
right?
didn't.
But the game at Love Street, I keep calling it Love Street because it's always going to be Love Street to me. But
St
the
Mirren Park, New
Spicer,
St Mirren
whatever the
Park.
hell you want to call it,
I call it New St Mirren Park.
aye. But I do think that they created a bit more, especially in the first half. They probably should have been ahead with a few decent balls into the box, but I don't know. Maybe it's the Paisley boy in me that's just thinking that I just see St Mirren. I don't think they'll do it in normal time. I think this could be extra time. It could be penalties, but
oh God, no!
Just got a feeling that St Mirren are gonna stay in the game in the way they have in the league games. But somehow they're going to get a wee bit of I think they'll get a wee bit of luck that they've not had. And I think I don't think any Celtic fan could begrudge them that because they have played well against you. But
they have done. But
I just think they're going to get a sneaky. I'm going to say 2-1 St Mirren after extra time.
I'm not confident myself because of obviously the previous two games, the system that he's using, players that he's putting into positions aren't they really suiting the positions. They feel like they look as if they're headless chickens running about the park. They're all over the place. There's no structure to it. It just looks a mess. But I'm hoping, beyond hope, that we can that it clicks maybe this Sunday and we can win the game.
What I would say is the big wide pitch at Hampden could be a factor because
in helping us,
just giving Maeda that bit more space in behind, and it might make that formation work a bit better. But it really depends who plays that left side and right side for you. I think you should go with one winger and one fullback and have a bit more balance.
I would play Maeda on the left. I'd play Forrest on the right instead of Yang, and I'd have Iheanacho through the middle.
See, I would probably play Donovan on the right, Maeda on the left, and still have the. Do you know what I mean? So you've got that
ability. Who would you have as? Who would you have as a three centre? Would the same three back three? You think so?
Because I also think, see if you play Tierney, Scales, and Trusty, right? See if it isn't working. If the manager is flexible, you can just bring Donovan back and go to a 4. Do you get what I mean? You can do.
See if Tierney was, in my opinion, I don't think Tierney was doing much wrong on Thursday night, and he took him off at half time. I'm like, why did he take him off? Did he say something at half time that the manager didn't like? I mean, what happened?
Who knows? But you never know with Kieran Tierney, though. He could have had a bit of tightness or anything.
Maybe.
You just don't know.
But I don't think he was having a bad game. He wasn't having a bad game.
No, that's why I was saying maybe it could be just a bit of tightness somewhere, and maybe they're thinking there's a cup final in a couple of days.
Hopefully that's what it was. I wouldn't like to think that something's happened.
I think Iheanacho has to start up front.
Oh, definitely.
If Maeda starts, it can't be up front.
It's got to be on the left.
In the wing back position. Even on the right, you would get away with it.
I think he's more suited to the left, though.
I agree, but I think if you're going to play Yang down there, you could probably get away with Maeda. I'm just saying, like if he wants to keep the Taneki. But no, I don't know. I think, look, Celtic could turn up and win 3-0. I wouldn't be surprised at that. But at the same time,
I would currently at the minute.
I just think that something's telling me it's going to be cagey, it's going to be tight, and St Mirren just might get that wee bit of luck.
I hope that Celtic go out and run amok and 4-1-3-4-0. I hope that everything clicks on Sunday and everything comes together and we actually win the game comfortably. But the minute I can't see it.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, I might be bold here, but I'm going to go 2-1 St Mirren after extra time.
I'll go. All right, I'll go 3-0 Celtic. There you go.
Because by the way, both of them could happen.
Aye, it's a bold
prediction. Be surprised.
I'm hoping that everything clicks on Sunday and we get that. We could the passing that they're doing and everything clicks together and we can actually create the chances that's going to get the goals for us and hopefully we can get the victory.
Yep. Cool. So we'll leave it there. Obviously next week we'll have a chat on. I think we're going to do it on Tuesday after the.
Yep.
Because
after the Rangers game on the Monday night.
Yep. So Tuesday we can have a little chat about the Celtic midweek one, and then we'll just do one on Tuesday, and we'll just preview the weekend as well.
Aye.
Because you don't want to do two.
No, that's right. Close together. Yep.
So that sounds good.
Yep.
So I will get off and yeah, enjoy your weekend, and it should be a mad one anyway.
Yep. You too, mate.
Right, cool.
Right.
Right,
Thanks, mate.
catch you later.
Right. Bye bye.